Don't Bully Me, Tips for Correctional Officers in the Workplace by Carl Torspins, former Deputy Warden and Trainer. Material adapted from Dr. Gary Nami and Dr. Ruth Nami, authors on the workplacebully.org website, and photo by CorrineGregory.com. Bullying is a systematic campaign of interpersonal destruction that jeopardizes your health, your career, the job you once loved. Bullying is non-physical, non-homicidal form of violence, and because this violence, it is violence, and abusive, emotional harm frequently results. Remember, you did not cause bullying to happen. It's not your fault. Primary reason bullying occurs so frequently in the workplace is that bullying is not yet illegal and employers are not dealing with the impact of these acts. Bullying is 4 times more common than sexual harassment or racial discrimination on the job. If you feel you've been targeted by a bully, don't run away from it, but be careful. Spend time with loved ones and friends. At times of debilitating stress like this, you must not be isolated. Isolation will only make the stress worse. Seek advice from co-workers and family. Be patient. Try to work it out and try to talk it out. How did it happen? 99.9 employers created a bullying-prone environment and can stop it if they want to. The responsibility falls on the employer. Don't buy into this concept that this is the way we've done it here ever since day one. If you don't like it, get out of the way or hit the highway. Corrections is a harsh and toxic workplace, but it does not include, or it does not have to include, a culture that is constantly challenging your work habits, ethics, or job performances, or unreasonable standards contrary to policy and procedure. There's no need to pit one employee against the other. Some employees are opportunists. They see bullying as a way to impress the boss. They are willing to harm others, or at least try to see if they can get away with it. They are manipulators and encouraged by others. Some are antisocial personalities and ambitious in nature. Very, very key personalities there that you need to pick up on. Opportunists. Be aware of the overly ambitious employees who are willing to do anything to hurt others. Bosses of bullies like them and consider them qualified to behave in such a manner. These endorsements, these silent endorsements of bullies, is what creates a bully environment. If positive consequences following bullying are emboldened or encouraged, promotions, rewards are positive, but it's also positive they are not being punished. Bullies who bully others with impunity become convinced they can get away with it forever. They will continue until stopped, and this is key. They will continue and stop, but the harm they do along the way is terrible. Discourage bullying, as even the most reluctant bullies can be taught to be aggressive over time if nothing is done by management. Stopping bullying requires nothing less than turning the workplace culture upside down. Change is imminent. Bullies must experience negative consequences for harming others. Again, falls back on the employer. The employer must turn the culture upside down and start stopping bullying at its lowest level. Punishment must replace promotions. Only executives and senior management can reverse the historical trend. To stop bullying requires employers to change the routine way of doing business that have been propped up by bullying for years. Bullies are too expensive to keep, but convincing executives, the bully's best friends and supporters, is very difficult. This is the wall that we talk about running into. They're being supported by managers and executives. Assigned responsibility is the employer. Employer can alter the work environment by changing how jobs are designed and how bullying is treated when exposed. It minimizes the people factor and personalities of the players. Truthfully, employers rarely get to choose employees whom they know very well. It's very important you communicate your concerns with your employer. Let them know how you feel. Don't let them bully you. In conclusion, the ultimate solution fixes responsibility for both the cause and cure squarely on the shoulders of senior management and executives. They put people in harm's way, and they can provide safety by undoing the culture which may have inadvertently allowed bullying to flourish. Now, in corrections, it's not inadvertently, it's by design. So you have to be careful, and you have to make sure you select your audience. Employees define all work conditions. Employers do. So therefore, you have to make sure you don't put yourself out there and subject to criticism. And I know you're going to be asking, why me? Why am I being targeted? Well, it's not necessarily because you're a weakling or because you have done something wrong, but it's likely you pose a threat to someone. Remember, the perception of the threat is entirely in his or her mind, but it's what he or she feels or believes, thus making you a target unfairly, regardless of how you want them to look at you or perceive you as a co-worker. A target may possess independent behaviors. They refuse to be subservient. Targets are most likely technically skilled better than their bullies in many cases, appear to be the go-to veteran workers to whom new employees turn for guidance, creating jealousy and envy, and also conflict in the workplace. It's unintentional, but it happens through the dynamics of the workplace. Targets are better liked. They have more social skills, quite likely possess greater emotional intelligence. They even have empathy, even for their bullies. Targets are ethical and honest. Some targets are whistleblowers who expose fraudulent practices. Every whistleblower is bullied. Remember, whenever you expose a practice that is not appropriate, they will try to bully you into silence. Targets are not schemers or slime con artists. They tend to be guileless. Are people with personalities that are pro-social or in orientation, desire to help others, heal, teach, develop, nurture. They're non-conforming nor confronting. They are morally superior, but they pay a price for their submissiveness, as that exposes them to being a target for a bully. Colleagues, customers, and management, with the exception to the bullies and sponsors, appreciate the warmth that the target brings into the workplace. So this is important for you to understand that you're not doing anything wrong here. Members of your team may be insecure in nature. Your bosses may be insecure. Your coworkers can't stand to share credit for the recognition of your talent. Bully bosses steal credit from skilled targets and prevent recognition to be shared with others on the team. So you talk about motive. Your team members may have motive, and as far as reasons are concerned, there could be so many different reasons why someone in the workplace targets you as a bully, which have already been listed. But most unlikely, it's your contribution to your position, your job, and your team that makes them jealous of you, and thus resentment builds in. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the video.